Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so pleased to see so many people in the community interested in our new mobile command unit. So for the record, welcome. Today is November 5th, 2024. It's 1:01, my favorite number, 1:01 p.m. This is a Prescott City Council study session. So after we've called this to order, we'll go to roll call, please.
Mayor Good.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantelmi.
Here.
Councilwoman Fruworth.
Here.
Councilman Gambogi.
I'm here.
Councilman Montoya.
I'm still here.
Councilman Moore.
Here.
And Councilmember Rusing.
Here.
All are present.
Very good. We have one item for discussion today, and that's a discussion and presentation regarding the new mobile command unit. Deputy Chief John Brambilla.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. John Brambilla, Deputy Chief at the Police Department. Thank you for the opportunity to come today to show you the mobile command post, because if it wasn't for Council, we wouldn't have this mobile command post. And some of you were on Council at the time that we were able to finally procure one. We went many, many years, as we're going to discuss here, without one. And it's been, I can tell you, it's been used many times already. Most recently, this last holiday during Halloween, we had it out on Mount Vernon. So we'll just go through. We have a very short presentation, just kind of an overview of the mobile command unit, some of its capabilities. And then if you'd like, we can take a walk outside, do a little field trip, and we've got it set up out front. Some of our citizens on patrol who are tasked with bringing it out have brought it out and set it up in the parking lot, so we can go take a look at it after we get done here. So just a brief overview, a little bit of the history, the need for the mobile command unit, as well as we'll talk funding and procurement, and then I'm happy to answer any questions about it. But like I said, when we go downstairs, we can actually take a really good look at it. When we approached Council about this project, we did it again, much like we do everything from a public safety standpoint, not just a police mobile command unit or a fire mobile command unit, but a shared mobile command unit. Many times we're on the same scene, so it made sense from unity of command and the incident command structure for us to co-locate. So that's why we chose this as a joint effort between us and the fire department. I'm not going to say anything, but when you open that door, it covers up the fire emblem. I don't know how that happened. I didn't do it. It's not intentional, but you'll see it downstairs. But we did this in a collaborative effort with the fire department. They had a representative and myself and Justin Hill at Fleet. We sat down and looked at what we needed. These can get extremely expensive when you start adding slide outs and things like that. So it's a very basic setup, but it gives us what we need. It gives us the ability to work in the field, to have the things that we need available to us technology-wise, give us a place to work outside of cold weather, hot weather, because it does have air conditioners and heat. So it does come in nice when we're stuck out on scene somewhere to be able to basically have our office there. But you see a couple of pictures. The command center there in the front, that will be open. There's a 65-inch television set in there. There's also radios throughout the unit. Inside, it is a 26-foot box truck. So inside, it's a little tight, but we do have 6 spaces for work. There are 6 different computers there. And then it has a small galley kitchen. It just has a small refrigerator, a microwave, and then we have a small counter so we can make coffee, and as Councilman Moore pointed out, some cop food like donuts and things like that. But it does have a restroom as well, all the essentials that we need when we're out on the street and don't have those things easily or readily available to us. So again, it's on a 26-foot chassis. So the box itself is 26 feet long. The chassis is a Ford F650 chassis. It's a gas engine. We chose that for a reason. It is tough to get these into certain places around town, and we were relying on our citizens on patrol to deploy it for us. So we wanted something that they could handle. They went through extensive training once we received it with Fleet. Justin Hill did a great job of setting up a road course for them, and really spent a lot of time with them to make sure that they understood. You know, it is a large vehicle and it's very different than driving your everyday driver. So they spent a lot of time learning how just to operate the truck. And then they spent a couple of days actually learning how to deploy it. So learning how to set it up with all the different systems that it has in it, and getting it leveled and putting the awnings out and turning the generator on, which all new things anymore come with problems. The first time we deployed it, the generator wouldn't start. So we've learned a couple of tricks, and now we've got most of the bugs worked out. And we have deployed it on several different crime scenes, some pretty significant ones. And then, of course, a lot of our pre-planned events. It is very nice. It gives us the ability to be out and people see us and they know where to come if they need help. So just like on Halloween, it was a great focal point for people to stop by, and we were handing out candy, and it's just a great thing for the community as well.
Councilman Montoya, you had a question?
Thank you, John, for
Yes.
the presentation. I just had a question. What was the date you said that it went into service first?
Well, it took about a year for us just to get the chassis, and then for it to be built was another 8 months. So we've had it for about a year, but we ordered it very bare bones. We wanted a platform that we could build onto and add technology. So we were able to do that with IT. So it was here not being used because we were adding the computer systems to it.
Right.
We were adding the ability for it to have Wi-Fi capabilities and its own internet. We actually have Starlink as our internet provider.
Okay.
So it's standalone. If we really needed to run an operation outside of our regional communication center,
Wow.
we have that capability to do that. And that was our Prescott Police Foundation actually paid for the Starlink to be added to that.
Wow. Oh, great. Thank you.
So the exact date, it's been in service for about a year.
Okay. Thank you.
So, yes, sir. So a little history, and I've been here long enough to talk about history. When I actually started in 1999, we did not have a mobile command unit. Shortly after that, we did procure one through our narcotics task force. So we do occasionally get vehicles that have been seized for drug-related investigations. And at that time, they seized a 1995 Class C motorhome. We asked for it. We were awarded that from PANT, and then our fleet basically had to retrofit it because it was an RV. It was not designed to be a mobile command post. It was designed to go camping in. So we had to gut it and do a lot of different things. And it went into service around 2003, and it did. It got a lot of use at that time. In 2017, we did have it out on Mount Vernon, and I was in it. The whole thing started shaking, and then the engine just died, and that was the end of the mobile command unit. Prior to that, we had a lot of issues with it. Generators not working. It needed to be winterized, so we had some leaks a couple of different times when we couldn't keep it indoors. The nice thing with this unit, we have an indoor bay to keep it in, so it's always plugged in and ready to go. So we had a lot of issues with the one that we had. And again, it was not designed to be a mobile command unit. It was not purpose-built for what we needed. It was something that we tried to retrofit to meet our needs at the time. So between 2017 and 2024, and I know the mayor has actually seen what we do for mobile command when we're literally at the back of a Tahoe or a Crown Vic with a table, and that's how we were running command on some pretty significant incidents. There was a kidnapping with a hostage situation for a short period of time. So we were doing the best we could, but we were literally working out of the back of our police vehicles. And then obviously the need, you see that there. To bring it out during high-risk events, major crime scenes, and again, those are both ours and the fire department scenes. It's great to protect the public during planned events. Again, it is very visible. You can see it, and if you need to find us, we're easy to find. Again, we can use it for recruiting, taking it out to public safety fairs and other community events. It's one of the highlights of our Citizens Academy. When we bring that out for our Citizens Academy, the citizens really enjoy seeing that and all the things that it has to offer. And then, getting us out of the weather. That's important too, whether it's hot or cold, it's nice to have a place where you can go inside and actually work. And the computer systems that are in there, they're linked into the city's network. So if I log into one of those computers, it's my desktop. So I have everything that I need. In the IT closet, and they did a really, really nice job of building this, and you'll see it. But our IT closet is very well organized. We've got a printer in there so we can print things, we can fax things. We can work solely from the field. If we need to get search warrants, we have the ability to do that, and we don't have to come back to the office. So that's a huge benefit of this unit, to have that available to us. A little bit about the funding. So for many years after 2017, we looked at different ways to try to fund this. Grants. After 9/11, there was an overabundance of grant dollars for mobile command units, and they got eaten up pretty fast. And after that, it's very difficult to find any federal grants that will allow you to purchase a mobile command unit. So we looked every year. We were looking at different grants, using the budgetary process as well. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it was fiscal year 22 that council approved funds that we received from the federal government related to COVID relief efforts. So we were given a budget of about $500,000 to go out and find this unit. We located Quality Vans in Tempe. We were really trying to focus on local companies. The owner of Quality Vans actually lives here in Prescott. And we had spoken with him. They also had a contract at the time with Maricopa County, so that made procurement a lot easier for us. But we purchased the vehicle, the chassis, and the box from them, and then they did the upfitting on the unit with our input down at their plant in Tempe. They also built the DUI mobile command post that we have as well. So we were familiar with their work. They did a really good job, an excellent job. And any little issues we've had, they've been right on it, sending techs up here to help us out. So yeah, it was completed right at the end of fiscal year 23, and we've been using it ever since then. So with that, I'll take any questions that anyone has about the unit. And if not, then we'll head downstairs, take a look at it.
Well, I know it's been kind of a long odyssey that required all these different components and assemblies. And then I want to make a personal thank you to the foundation, the police foundation, that came up with the additional funds to be able to have that Starlink connection. Because we've seen areas around the country where you have Wi-Fi disconnections, and then you can't communicate. And having the Starlink, I think, puts you in a really good position to be able to continue to operate when you're having a major crime scene. So I'm glad to see this come, and I don't know where we're going to install the old Crown Vic, and maybe bronze it or something, put it in one of our parks, and just recognize it for its efforts over
Yes.
the
It might end up in a
interim
parade
period,
someday.
right?
But yes, that Starlink, Mayor, you're absolutely right. And we've tested it. We've used it operationally on a couple different things, and it unbelievable speed. We had multiple devices connected to it. It never slowed down. It was actually pretty amazing that we were able to get that. And if I didn't say it enough, IT and fleet really helped us out a lot with this project. Our IT department did an excellent job, because all the technology that went into it, outside of the way that it came with the monitors, they did all the work, and they did a great job. And then Sergeant Parker, who's our traffic sergeant, who doubles as an IT sergeant, I think, a lot of these ideas were his, to put the Starlink and some of the other things. So a lot of people had their hands in this, and it really is something that is very useful for us, and I think lends to the professionalism of how we do things here.
Terrific. Councilman Montoya again.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just want to echo the mayor's comments about thanking the Police Foundation on this. We are super grateful for that. I know that when we got this funding from the federal government, there were a lot of asks that were made of our council at that time. This was an easy no-brainer to do, and as was the fire truck. And I just want to, not to keep the fire and police rivalry going, but my recollection is that we gave you that money and you stayed well within your bounds, where the $1.5 million fire truck we bought quickly turned into, I think, a $1.8 million fire truck, if I recall correctly. So, just saying, police gets it done on time and under budget, it sounds like. But no, seriously, I'm grateful. One of the things I loved about your presentation is that the collaboration story that you're telling here about working with IT, working with the Police Foundation, working, with the citizen patrol folks, the volunteers. I think that's really emblematic of how it takes a team of people to get this kind of stuff done. So I'm grateful that we're able to repurpose some federal dollars for a good purpose here. Thank you for all the work you've done around this.
Thank you.
Councilman Moore.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick question or two. You mentioned that the truck was gas. Is the generator gas also?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes. So it runs off the same tank.
Perfect. And then do you have the ability to be refueled? Like, let's say you're in a location for a period of time. Can you be refueled?
Yes. Fleet Services has a fueling truck.
Okay.
Matter of fact, during Legato Fire, they went out to fuel the fire trucks that were out there. So, yes,
Excellent.
they could come out on scene if we needed them to fill it.
Excellent. And where are you storing it? Where's your bay?
So down at the city garage, we occupy the old city garage before they built the new one.
Okay.
The old city garage is the police departments. That's where our traffic section is located. That's where our SWAT equipment is kept. And that's where this mobile command unit is kept. So we have those bays and we can keep everything inside. It's climate controlled. It's plugged in. Everything's ready to go. So
Two more questions for you.
yes, sir.
How quickly can you deploy it? If you're relying on volunteers, I mean, you have to contact them at home. They have to drive to the police station. They have to pick up the unit. They have to come out and deploy it. How quickly is that the most efficient? And is that the best way to do it?
I'll tell you what, Councilman Moore, our citizens on patrol, they're amazing. They were so excited to get this opportunity. It wasn't going to anyone else. They wanted it. They're very quick. And what it does is it allows our personnel to go to the scene and to investigate and to handle the things that we need to handle. And they bring that out as an auxiliary for us. And they do a great job. We have a call out list. They stay on top of it monthly. They have a checklist where they go over there and they check it every month to make sure everything's working. So that nothing's dead when we take it out on the scene, that is full of water and full of all the things that we need. So they do a really good job. We can have it out within an hour, typically, if it's not too late at night when they're sleeping. But
That's awesome. Last question. Who did the graphics?
those are done locally at Auto Trim.
Yeah, great.
So that's
I
who
like
we
Auto
use
Trim
for
a
all
lot.
of our vehicles. So Auto Trim did the graphics on it.
Thank you. I've supported them with my business too. They do a great job.
They do.
Councilman Gambogi.
John, Starlink is satellite, right?
Yes, sir.
So does that work if you're undercover, like in the photos you're in the building? Does it work when you're in a building?
The Starlink? Yes, we've actually used it inside of our building. Obviously the dish goes outside, but you can use that inside. Yes, we've used it a couple different times on some different operations.
So you need a dish on the unit.
Yes, there is a portable dish.
On one of the photos, I saw the entry door, and it looked like it extends way below the body, but I'm guessing the body is black down there.
Yes.
What's the ground clearance on that?
I'm not exactly sure. There are storage boxes on the outside of it. And so we do have to be careful, especially trying to go up over curbs and things like that. The ground clearance isn't the greatest, but when you get out there and see, it sits up pretty high.
I wanted to ask a question about the old MCU.
Yes, sir.
Now that Councilman Montoya, a.k.a. Elwood Blues, is in the business of buying old cop cars, did he put a bid in on this?
I couldn't comment on that. I have no idea.
No, I'm happy with my Crown Vic.
Councilmember Rusing.
Thank you. John, I have a question.
ma'am.
Do you think there will be any need to loan the MCU to other agencies?
It would always be available. That we work very collaboratively with our other law enforcement and fire partners. Most everybody has theirs. We were the one borrowing their mobile commands. The sheriff's office has one. They're actually looking to get a new one. Central Arizona Fire and Medical and Prescott Valley PD share one as well. But again, our partners with the Prescott the tribe as well. It's available to them if they needed it on any type of a scene. that they were investigating. So yes, we would loan it out if we needed to.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilwoman Furworth.
Thank you, Mayor. I was down on Mount Vernon last week, and I was 30 feet away from your mobile command unit. And man, did the kids love it. Gave a really good, positive presence to the police out there. The amount of candy you all handed out didn't hurt at all, but very well done in terms of building trust between the community and your force. So congrats.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. We appreciate that.
Very good. Any other comments or concerns? Do we have any public comment?
We do not, Mayor.
Well, we're going to extend our meeting area down to the parking lot. So now we're going to go down and take a look at the command unit. And this is still part of the public meeting, so the public can join us down there. And after we've had our tour, then we'll conclude the study session at that time.
Sounds good.
Thanks.